as Anthony was saying, my name is TJ Holmes. I cover Golden State Warriors for the San Francisco Chronicle. One thing I want to talk to you guys about is just having a plan for, those of you guys who are lucky enough to play in college, to have a plan for life after baseball, because the sports stuff, for most of us, it stops. I know a lot of you guys will probably be on like the scholarship radar. I wasn't that guy, right? So I was a preferred walk-on at Auburn University, and I remember sitting in my coach's office my senior year. So I turned to my coach, his name was Vince Walden, and he was kind of like, well, what do you like? And growing up, I always liked reading, always liked writing. After I told him that, he's like, save the application, close it out, come back to my office tomorrow after practice. All right, so the next day I come and do that. He gives me a book called Don't Put Me In, Coach, by Mark Titus. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Mark Titus, but he was a walk-on at Ohio State under Thad Matta, years ago. And basically, what's so impressive about Mark is he was a walk-on, much like I was about to be. But by the time he left Ohio State in his 4 years, he's basically like a cult hero on campus. He created his own brand. The guy set himself up for success at the college level, despite not being the best player on that team, which propelled him to greater things after basketball. So I read the book cover to cover and it inspired me, and that's when I decided I wanted to be a journalist. So I get to Auburn, along with playing basketball, I'm writing for the school paper, the Auburn Plainsman. There was actually some practices where we get done with practice, I go back to the locker room, change into something nicer, then go back out to the main court to go cover a girls game. Working at the Plainsman led to internship opportunities. Led to, I graduated in 2016, and I was home for a year, kind of looking, just like, applying for different jobs and, living at home here. But in that year, I was still grinding, right? I'm doing different internships, freelancing, anything I can do to set myself up. So the point that I am really trying to make is sports, they're not going to be forever. And at some point, you're going to have to identify something you love, something you can see yourself doing as a career. And for those of you guys who are lucky enough to play in college, don't make it just about sports. It's not just about sports. It's about the full college experience. And setting yourself up for success, finding something you love, like putting your energy into multiple baskets instead of just sports. Because one day you're gonna have to be out here in this real world doing something you love. So find something you love, work just as hard as getting good at that as you do in your sports, and all of you will be good to go.